And let's start with showing you live Doppler 13 radar. Good Friday morning. Glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. We got a lot to catch you up on, obviously.
We do. So we want to begin by talking about some snow arriving in central Indiana. The weather impact really expected over the weekend.
Yes. So we know that today started off with some showers, but Chuck is here to walk us through what we're expecting and the snow that we are seeing in some areas that's lingering right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Julia. Yeah, it's moving out. That's for sure. And so some of you will have some snow that's gathering on some icy areas, and that's in some of the side roads. Others just wet roads out there. This storm maker, this deep area of low pressure that brought us all this is moving off to the east. And you will notice as you go out the door, a lot of wet roads, but there could be some icy patches too, because it's cold enough where this is refreezing. Let me show you what I mean. Look at all these temperatures in the teens, from a snow-covered Frankfort at 19 to Kokomo at 19, Monticello at 19, much warmer in the central part of the state, with Carmel at 27, Indy at 26, and in our southern counties, Bedford, you're at 33 degrees this morning, and Seymour's at 35. Now, the reason for this, a wind that is shifting to the west-northwest. Folks, that is going to be a cold wind. We've already had Muncie with a 31-mile-per-hour wind gust this morning. So what you see is what you get out there. The snow's going to stop. The cold will not. Temperatures in the 20s. But everybody wants to know about the storm moving in Sunday. Here's what we have in a nutshell. Winter storm watch will go into effect Sunday at 7 a.m. We believe by Sunday this will change to a winter storm warning, and with good reason. On Saturday, this deep area low pressure, this is a strong one, draws the moisture up from the south. So we're dry here Saturday, but look what happens as we move into Sunday. Full-fledged ice storms in Kentucky. We could get some sleet moving in here, but at times we'll also see heavy snow. So because of that, we're calling for 4 to 7 inches of snow on Sunday. Some of you could see a little bit more than that, but we will break it down for you hour by hour, day by day in just a few minutes. We do need to get to traffic because there's a lot of wet spots and maybe some slick spots in some of these rural areas.
Yeah, it's those wet spots that are turning back into slick spots right now is one of the problems we have, just because the refreezing taking effect. We've watched temperatures drop all morning. When Chuck and I got in, we were right next to freezing. Now we're in the 20s. We keep getting colder and colder. All the little raindrops, a little snowflake in the middle, those show you where NDOT is reporting black ice. And they don't have sensors absolutely everywhere. These are the sensors, though, that are kind of frozen over. We have a newer one that's on 65. They're crossing over Market Street on the east side of downtown, and then one in 65 as you're passing the exit for Frankfort. But I do want to show you what it looks like with the road sensors. We do have some patchy snow here and there. This is what it looks like in Lafayette. Good morning. They're on the north side, right towards North River Road. You can see the snow as it encroaches there on the shoulder of some of the roads and even the shoulder of the interstate.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, this morning we do have extended weather coverage for you on the upcoming winter storm. This begins at 9 o'clock this morning on WTHR+.
It's where our 13 News weather team will break down what you need to know about this storm headed our way, plus some tips in general just to keep your family safe this winter. You can download our free streaming app right now on Apple TV, Fire Stick, and Roku. Well, at 6:03, we are following some breaking news from Indy's near North Side. That's where IMPD is investigating a deadly shooting on North Capitol Avenue.
So this is after a triple shooting hours earlier on the southeast side of Indy. Our Sia New Yorker is live with what we know right now about both ongoing investigations. Sia is live, and I know that you've been trying to hear from police and talking maybe the last couple of hours. What can you tell us?
Yes, good morning, ladies. You mentioned all of these shootings. Right now, the two shootings unrelated. Let's get to this shooting here at 30th and Capitol. You can see behind me, it is still a very active scene. Police say they got a call for reports of a shooting just around 4 a.m. this morning. When they got here, they found one man dead. Now, they have put a person of interest in custody. That person right now is with police. Police are investigating. They're still here on the scene. They have this entire block sectioned off and say that for the foreseeable future, it will be this way. So this is definitely going to impact rush hour this morning. Again, this area of Capitol blocked off as police do their investigation. Now, on to the triple shooting last night that happened just after 9 p.m. on Indy's southeast side. Police say that it was a gun sale gone wrong. And right now, they found out that one man was dead and two others were critically injured. Now, they say it happened around South Arlington and Troy Avenue. They responded there for reports of a shooting. Now police are trying to figure out if the three people who were shot are suspects or victims in this shooting.
At this time, we believe one of the people in the house was trying to sell a gun. Either one or two people showed up, they got into an argument, and those people started fighting and gunfire erupted.
Police tell us there were two witnesses inside the house who jumped out of the window to escape that gunfire. Those people are cooperating with police and are part of the investigation. At this time, we're working to find out if there will be any arrest from that triple shooting. Again, one person is dead. Two other people are in the hospital with critical injuries. When we get information, we will update you on air and online. And as it pertains to this shooting here on 30th and Capitol, one person is dead and another person is in custody. Ladies.
Yeah, two separate unfortunate situations, Sia. Thank you for the new info.
Well, this morning we also have an update for you on breaking news we followed yesterday for you here on Sunrise. What we know now about that bust at an Airbnb or VRBO. So 16 people arrested in all. 12 guns were also recovered.
And all of this happened right after a house party, police say, at a short-term rental in Fountain Square. So police were called to Spruce Street after reports of shots fired in that area. And when they arrived, they said people were running from that home, some carrying guns.
Officers did take those 16 people into custody, but they do think about 30 people actually got away. No reported injuries or property damage, but neighbors say this isn't the first time this has happened.
And around 1:30 is when I was woke up from gunshots. Have no clue how many I heard, but way too many to feel comfortable. And people literally running from the house.
A listing for that house says that parties are supposed to be limited to 10 people. There's a new city ordinance that requires short-term rentals like this to register so that if something bad happens, the owners can be easily located. But so far, we don't have any information to share about any charges. We are following up and we'll keep you updated.
And this morning, we're focusing in on new information about the deadly truck attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day. The French Quarter was back open last night.
The FBI now says the driver of that truck, a veteran, was inspired by ISIS, and they are calling this an act of terrorism. So far, the FBI says the suspect acted alone in this attack. Right now, we also know the FBI is investigating the bombs that were placed in the Bourbon Street area by the suspect. They say they were in a cooler. This is a flyer that's being sent out by the FBI, the security pictures of the suspect and the cooler.
We're also learning more names of those that were killed in the New Orleans terror attack. Many of them so young, just taking a break to ring in the new year. An aspiring nurse, a college student, a single mom, all among those 14 people that were just celebrating New Year's Eve, killed in that attack. No question that the last several days have been emotional there in New Orleans.
Yes, fans finally turned their attention to the field at Caesars Superdome for the Sugar Bowl. Dominic Miranda shows us the significant moments from New Orleans.
What a day it was here at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans on Thursday. Notre Dame with its biggest win this century, beating Georgia 23-10 in the Sugar Bowl, breaking the glass ceiling that's hovered over this program for far too long. 17 points in 54 seconds of game time. That was the difference in this one as Notre Dame is heading to the college football playoff semis. Smiles. Elation, relief, a victory. The echoes of Notre Dame lore awoken, a dominant defensive performance, a statement to the college football landscape. Confetti falls down on this Notre Dame team after a heavyweight fight with the Bulldogs in the Bayou.
I'm so proud of this program, the team, for the work they put into obtaining the result that we got tonight. I remind them the last 10 days as we prepared, like this will be a 60-plus minute fight. Georgia's been down in 9 games this year, and they find a way to come back and win. And so they had that mentality.
What a journey it's been for the Irish. The highest of highs after a Week 1 win over Texas A&M on the road. The lowest of lows after a Week 2 loss to NIU at home. Now 12 straight wins and heading to the CFP semis. 1 win away from a national championship appearance. A journey this team wouldn't have any other way.
And you learn a lot from something like that early in the season. And to be able to come together and reel off this amazing journey we've had. And to know you got one more and we're not done yet, that's such a big deal. And just the faith and trust in your teammates and your coaches allows you to be able to go out there and compete and have the opportunity to do something like today.
I just love being on the journey with these guys. I love motivating them. I love pushing them. I love challenging them in different ways because they just continue to respond in any way that you challenge them. But it's an honor and a privilege and a lot of fun to be on this journey together.
It's Notre Dame's first major bowl win since 1994. Now they're headed to the Final Four, a date with Penn State down in Miami, 1 win away from a national title appearance. Dare I say, luck of the Irish, no matter how you slice it, a huge win for Notre Dame. Here in New Orleans, I'm Dominic Miranda, 13 Sports.
Oh, thank you, Dom. Go Irish, 6-11. And folks, this is what it looks like on Sunday when the Colts play the Jaguars. 4 to 7 inches of snow. Some of you may see a little more, but unfortunately, some ice and sleet will be mixed in. We'll have a timeline for you. Get you ready for this big weekend storm when we come back.